to Mahesh Jethmalani first, because you put out a tweet saying that Nupur Sharma isn't fringe, which she isn't, because she's a national spokesperson of the BJP. The BJP, the MEA tried to dismiss her as a fringe element. Do you think that a new line is being drawn, and do you think this action against Nupur Sharma, which has seen a huge pushback for the senior leaders in the BJP from within their own supporters, will lead to an improvement, or could it lead to a deterioration of the level of public dialogue? Mahesh.
Well, I think that what has been done has been salutary, because, a few months ago, I had appeared before the Supreme Court, and Justice Kaul had actually echoed something which is after my own heart, and he had said, I hope that the standard of debate, particularly in the media, improves, and it's not so that it isn't so polemical and to some extent hate-filled. And I think that drawing this suspension is in some sense a benchmark now, that while you can have lively debates, right, there has to be some sense of civility during the course of debates. The other side is not your enemy, right? You may have religious differences, but even when you debate those differences, you debate them with the utmost civility and politeness, and you certainly don't cross red lines where you hurt the sentiments of other people. I mean, if that's the message the party is sending out, I'm glad for it, and I think it should be encouraged, and I hope that all national spokespersons of all parties remain within the bounds of decency.
And when action has already been taken against Nupur Sharma, Priyanka Chaturvedi, why is the government in Maharashtra, through the police in Mumbra, sending summons to Nupur Sharma? She's already been acted against. What she said was inappropriate. She's expressed regret. Why then turn this into a police case? Isn't that victimization?
So, firstly, I'm quite in agreement with what Mr. Jethmalani said about red lines not being crossed. Unfortunately, the red lines have been crossed since 2014 onwards, and we've been seeing the kind of debates, the wild debates that have been happening on television channels, which I have also raised with the Information and Broadcasting Minister, that we need to start drawing a line somewhere. But considering this line has been drawn after the Gulf countries have come up in arms, and for the first time ever in India's diplomatic history, we've had to issue a clarification to as many countries on this particular issue, and calling the national spokesperson of a party which is in power as fringe elements and those working against the interests of the nation, is actually very unfortunate. That we came to draw a line only when 14 countries came up in arms. That's point one. Point two, I don't know since when did governments, maybe that's how the central agencies work, at the behest of the central government. But Maharashtra government does not actually control the Maharashtra police and tells them what to file an FIR and where to file an FIR and which cases to pursue. If any citizen has felt offended with a speech that was spoken, there are enough sections in the IPC to book them under. Are you trying to say that Maharashtra government is influencing the Mumbai police on what cases to file and what not to file?
Mahesh Jethmalani, you buy that, or do you think Nupur Sharma is being victimized unnecessarily through these summons?
I'm sorry.
Or can the government get away by saying...
No, I'm sorry. Okay. Allow me to complete.
Okay, go on.
I'm sorry. That you must then ask the Home Minister to do away with those IPC sections which lead to harassment. I have been saying this multiple times over. If somebody is feeling offended, isn't it the right of a citizen to approach the police? And isn't it the job and responsibility of the police to note that particular complaint down? How did it become harassment?